Good morning and Happy New Year, everybody. This is Lorraine,
And Jennifer.
and we're going to kick off the new year with talking about what you should be doing in the new year.
Yes, better marketing in 2023.
Okay. You know what? I think that in general, marketing is evolutionary. I think you have
Yes.
to learn from last year and get
Yes.
better. And I think there's a lot of that learning going on this year.
Yeah, I think, in 2022, I know one thing that I've really learned is, things are changing really fast and trying not to, when new things come out, work on it, be aware of it, but don't jump really quick and throw all your eggs into the same basket. I think I did that a little bit. Maybe not, definitely not all my bags, but eggs. But like I put too much effort into something that maybe I should have, taken a little bit less time, but same time I might not have known that it wouldn't work.
It's one of those things that I think you need to evaluate a lot of different things and then pick something and go at it and not necessarily abandon everything else, because if it doesn't work, you're really screwed. But I think you go after it and you have to give it a fighting chance. So, for
Yeah.
example, you know, 2 years ago it was Clubhouse, and last year maybe it was TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, this year for me, rolling into it, it's YouTube Shorts. And the thing that I'm doing though is I'm watching the numbers. I'm doing a little and I'm watching the numbers. But there are some things that are emerging, I think, that were maybe becoming trends last year that I think, and this one I know you're really high on, is AI. I think that's in 2023. It's been around for a couple of years, but I think this is the year that you need to get good at it.
Yeah, so AI to me is different than what you just mentioned, like TikTok and Clubhouse. Those are channels, and I think when you're making decisions about channels, you need to really think: is your audience already there,
Mm-hmm.
or will
Mm-hmm.
your audience potentially be there? Because it's hard to build an audience, and when you're building from ground up, yeah, sure, go get the profile and all that, but sometimes you have to cut your losses because your audience doesn't end up being there. Now, AI is completely different. Like, this is a different ball game. This is something new that's coming out that you do need to pay attention to, because it's in a larger scope of things being automated and being more efficient. And let's just be clear, it's not new.
No, that's, I mean, we've been dealing with automated chatbots. I mean, anybody who has entered a help request on any website in the last few years has had an interaction with AI named John.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not John that's talking to you, it's a computer, and they're responding to basic questions. But one of the things that I've definitely seen with AI is really well thought out AI in chats is a lifesaver.
Yes.
And really bad AI in chats, I want to throw something at
It's a brand
my,
killer.
oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So and for me, the defining thing is, has the person who, because it's not AI's fault, but it's has the person who's put together
The
the
software.
screen, the
Hmm.
software, really thought through what are the questions that people are likely to have? What information are they looking for? And
Yeah.
can I build that into the algorithm?
So I'm a techie geek, so the
Mm-hmm.
one that you're kind of describing is actually using a human to kind of input and automate things.
Mm-hmm.
This latest one with Chat GPT is actually going out and grabbing content from the internet that already exists.
Mm-hmm.
So those are like two different things, and you have to think about like what's kind of the negative or positive of that and what can happen.
And I think, whether you use Chat GBT or you start with a human being, really the very best thing, and this, I don't know, I mean, this is old school marketing. Test it.
Yes.
Take Take someone who is a typical customer and ask them to have the chat experience and see, do they get frustrated
Almost everything.
or are they satisfied? And I think that's totally, if you're going to use any kind of artificial intelligence to move people through the front end of your funnel,
Yeah.
it has to be a good experience. It can't just be good for you as
Right.
as
Right.
I mean, and again, I'm old school. A telephone rings and I answer it.
What are
And
those?
yeah, yeah. And I know that there is an entire generation and there's a whole industry that says, no, that's not productive. Make the person make a couple of choices. And I get that it is efficient for companies to not have to field phone calls.
Yeah.
But it is incredibly frustrating for customers if that process takes too long and does not ultimately get them to the information.
Yeah, so, with that, it's just thinking of, is this better for the consumer and not just better for me, and kind of making those decisions. And AI is just one example of something that I think, and I always think the people who are in strategy are going to become the most valuable.
Mhm.
You can think on your feet and you can think through, like, why am I using this? That's what's valuable. These tools that are automated likely will never get to that stage because it has to take information in order to automate things. So it's never going to be in the strategy stage.
No, and so I'm going to use that as a bridge to another place that I see artificial intelligence where I think it can be very valuable, and that is in content development.
Yeah.
That's one of the hot trends right now is using AI to write your content.
Hmm.
And here's where I am with you. I think it's a great starting point.
Hmm. Yeah. It's good to get the creativity going, kind of here. It can go out there and kind of give you all these different ideas of what people are talking about, what they're interested in. Just like all the other tools that we've used, SEMrush or all these other tools, that it's really no different. The difference is when you are copying it exactly the way it is, you're not creating anything original, and that is going to be picked up on by whoever. I don't
Mhm.
care if it's search engines or whoever. I also have a bone to pick with people that are just outright, yeah, I used AI for this. And just like, like you just had it completely write it for you and you're just open and honest about that. Okay, let's just admit we're lazy.
Yeah, well, and one of the things that I think always, and I think this is where why it's not why video has become more important, but I think it's where video and audio has sort of taken off is there is a unique voice. When I write something and I'm not being lazy and I'm really writing it, it
Yep.
sounds like me.
Yeah.
And AI is not going to sound like me. But what AI can do is give me a topic, give me some data points or outlines that I can then talk about. And
Yeah.
I think that's when AI is at its best.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You still got to write unique points back to that strategy, just giving you ideas to kind of think about. That's what you have to use it for.
Absolutely. Okay, I want to shift to just one more before we hop off. And again, this isn't new, but it's everybody is talking about kind of influencer marketing and the rise of the influencers and everybody is a celebrity. Like people are TikTok celebrities now. And I
Yeah.
know I'm being sarcastic about TikTok and I recognize it's a thing and there's it's going to be a thing, but most small brands, you're not going to be a celebrity.
No.
And putting a lot of effort into celebrity status as opposed to putting the effort into your business and creating good information, I just think it's really misguided.
Yeah, we recorded a podcast on this recently, and it's about, like, let's just say there's trending music, and that's how
Mhm,
you get more reach and stuff. Does that make sense for your business?
mhm,
Does that make sense for, the marketing? If it doesn't, then don't do it. Don't
mhm.
don't chase after that. You're not going to be a content creator on TikTok. Still maintain that you're marketing for your business, and you don't need to do all these little dances and stuff like that. And like, that's where I think people are playing too much to these
Mm.
algorithms.
Absolutely. Well, I think, 2023 is gonna be an interesting year. I think it's a little bit of man versus the machine,
Okay.
and, but I think it's going to be fun as people learn to use it maybe well.
Stay agile is my word of advice. The more that you are agile, I was just saying earlier, we used to say that, what is it, the master of none, if you,
Mhm.
I don't think that's true anymore.
Mm-mm.
I think you need to be agile and you need to constantly be willing to learn new things and not become this master of just one discipline, because the possibility is that it's going to be taken over by AI if it can be. So stay agile, be okay with doing different things. That's my word of advice for 2023.
I think that's great advice, and I think where my last lesson tying into that is get lost in your marketing. Go down different paths and do that as you say, but measure the results
Yes.
and ask yourself, is this vanity or is this really driving my business?
Yep. Gotta look at it that way.
Cool. All right. Before we leave, I want to remind everybody if you are here in Indianapolis, we are going to be doing a live in person, no video involved
Yay.
seminar on the 26th of January and the 2nd of February. I've put a link in the show notes. Come join us. We'd love to see you in person.
Yeah, you're just hearing bits and pieces here, but watch us show you an entire funnel of marketing from beginning to end. So
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
take care.
Bye now.